Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at a special type of factoring trinomials when a is greater than 1. This means that the coefficient in front of the x squared, so the coefficient in front of the x squared is no longer 1, it is greater than 1. So we need a different strategy to do this than we used when a was equal to 1. So let's go back in time real quick and look at a problem when a was equal to 1, and let's compare it to a problem when a is not equal to 1. So we have x squared plus 7x plus 10. So this is a trinomial where we have our first term is a, this is b, and that is c. So the strategy that we used with these in factoring was we wanted to find two numbers that multiplied to get to our c and added to get to our b. So what two numbers multiply to get c and add to get to b? Well, if we take 5 and 2, that is 10 when we multiply them, and 5 plus 2 is 7. So if we factor this out, this is x plus 5, x plus 2. So that is factoring when a is equal to 1. This is your answer. And of course, and I won't do this here, we can FOIL this out to make sure that we did this correctly and check our work. So let's say that we had something a little bit more complex. So 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. So the method that we're going to use here is we're going to start by multiplying our a. Let me just label these real quick. A, B, C. We're going to multiply a times c. So this is step 1. I'm just going to pull 1 here. This is step 1. We're going to multiply a times c. So that's 2 times 6. Well, that's 12. Now, step 2 is we're asking ourselves what two numbers multiply to get to 12 and add to get to 7. Well, if we don't know right off the top of our head, we can break this into a factor tree. So 1 times 12 is 12. 2 times 6, 3 times 4, and so on and so forth. So do any of those two numbers add to equal 7 and multiply to equal 12? Well, looks like this is. So after we've done that, then we're going to rewrite our polynomial, adding these two things in the middle. 3x plus 4x plus 6. Now, you might notice that if we add these two terms, it is the exact same thing as this. We actually have not changed anything. So now, going back in time, we are going to factor by grouping. So that's our third step. So grouping. And if you're not familiar with factor by grouping, I'm going to go through this fairly fast. I do have a dedicated video on this in my video playlist, so you can go back and check that out. So factor by grouping, we're going to take this, break this into two terms. We're going to ask ourselves, what is the greatest factor that goes into both of those? Well, the greatest number and variable, greatest term that goes into both of these is, looks like x. So if we pull out an x, we're left with 2x plus 3. And then the same question here, well, it looks like a 2 is the greatest multiple that I can pull out of there. So we're left with 2x plus 3. Now, we know that we're on the right track because we have these two things are exactly the same. So now, to simplify, we're going to take 2x plus 3, a factor, out. If we take 2x plus 3 out, we are left with our x here and our 2. Okay, so to make sure that we are on the right track, we do always want to make sure that we FOIL. So let's do this. Let's multiply our first term, 2x squared. And then we are going to first outside plus 4x inside plus 3x, and then last plus 6. So if we do simplify this, we do have the same thing that we have here. If we simplify this, 2x squared plus 7x plus 6, we know that we have the same thing here, so we know that that works perfect. And that's it in 3 steps. So let's go down, let's do another one. Okay, I do encourage you to pause the video and try this one on your own, and then check my work with it. So I'm assuming that you've paused the video, so let's go ahead and go through this together. So 3 steps. First step, A times C. In this case, that is 24. Okay. Second step is to figure out what 2 numbers multiply to get to 24 and add to get to 10. Well, we have 1 and 24 are factors, 2 and 12 are factors, 3 it's not a factor, 4 and 6, so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm going to stop here because I know that 4 plus 6 is 10, 4 times 6 is 24. Okay, so our third step is to rewrite this and factor by grouping. Okay, so let's rewrite this with our new numbers. So 3x squared plus 4x plus 6x plus 8. Okay, and again, you'll notice that these 2 things added together are 10, so we have not changed this polynomial at all. Now we're going to factor by grouping. So let's do it. So let's pull out a, looks like just an x. So we're left with 3x plus 4. And we're going to pull out a, looks like we're going to pull out a 2 here. So we're left with 3x plus 4. And again, we always want to make sure that we're on the right track. We should have the exact same thing here. Okay, within the parentheses, we should have the exact same thing here. So if we factor out a 3x plus 4, we are left with our 2 terms, x and 2. X plus 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and FOIL this real quick. So first terms are 3x squared. Our last terms are plus 6x. Our, let's see, inside is plus 4x. And our last is plus 8. And again, we can rewrite this to make sure that these are the same. Perfect, and that's it. You've just learned how to factor trinomials when a is greater than 1 using the grouping method. If this is helpful or you found this helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button for more tutorials. Also grab my factoring practice worksheet on Teachers Pay Teachers, and I'll link that below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.